Oh, bro. Is mad. You're so bad.
Oh my
kid.
goodness. Laser room.
Let's go.
I got missed off of your stuff.
Oh
we
my goodness.
chilling.
He
Nah.
just tried to fall.
You're so
He did exactly what I did.
Kid.
Smash that like button and you'll aim like that.
Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm bringing you a video that many of you asked for after you saw my custom illustrious controller from Aim Controllers. So basically in this video I'm just going to go over how to order your very own custom controller, how I ordered this, what parts I put on it, stuff like that. First things first though, a lot of people think this is a controller you can buy specifically, but it's not just yet. This is actually a completely custom controller. So if you want one exactly like this, you're gonna have to follow step by step and order everything the way I ordered it, exactly the same. Secondly, the reason I waited a bit to make this video is because I was waiting to try out this controller before deciding whether or not to take a partnership with Aim Controllers. After using this controller though for a couple days, it's very clear this is easily the best controller I've ever used. I'm not hyping it up or anything. I'm not like over exaggerating. I've tried over probably 15 controllers, not even close. Best controller I've ever used. It's insane how good I'm playing with it, and that's why I'm so excited about actually announcing the partnership and making this video for you guys. So with all that said, let's head over to their website so I can show you guys how to build this controller. All right, first step, you go into Google, you type in Aim Controllers. You pick USA or Europe, obviously we're in USA. You come up here, PS5 controllers. They also have PS4 controllers and Xbox controllers, which I'm assuming are cheaper than the PS5 if you do want to go that route too. On this page, this is where you start to set up your controller. So first I'm going to show you guys the cheapest possible option I could find. So remember, you get $75 off any order $189. So say you have this PS5 controller, right? And you want just paddles. That's the number one mandatory thing I would say if you had to choose. Obviously paddles is the most important part. But because again, they're so swamped, it says within 35 workdays. I got mine really fast just because I think they expedited it to me, but it could be up to 35 days. Aim paddles, right? That's what we wanted. They got six different paddles. You can get either the normal paddles or paddles that can be remapped. So normal paddles is $122 total. Remappable paddles is an extra 24-ish. The upside being that you can change the paddle buttons. Honestly though, to be totally honest, I've never had to change my paddles. I've always been X and circle or arrow, whatever you use to build. You never ever change them unless you're playing a lot of different games. Since all I play is Fortnite and sometimes Call of Duty, I've never had to change the paddles. So again, this is the cheapest configuration right here, just paddles on a completely base normal PS5 controller. That is $122. That is an insane price for a real original DualSense PlayStation 5 controller with 4 not buttons like my other one. This is a controller I bought on eBay, custom made also. This was the first one I found that had paddles on it. And by paddles, it's just 2 little buttons on the back, okay? Look at the buttons very closely. You guys can actually see them. So you guys can see those buttons, right? That is just 2 little black buttons. If you guys have ever seen me review controllers, you know I hate buttons like this. I tend to hate these button type paddles. I always like actual paddles. I've never liked buttons. However, these are pretty comfortable as far as buttons go. But this was $150 on eBay from a complete stranger that just was modded controllers, you know. And I'm not complaining. $150 was a fair price for adding paddles. It's you know, for the work that goes into it and stuff, it's understandable. But Aim Controllers has 4 custom real paddles for $120. I don't understand how that's even possible, man. That is a ridiculous price. I paid $150 for this, $122 for these. Just 4 paddles, nothing else. Again, this is why we were so excited and looking forward to announcing this, because like it's obvious that these guys do quality work and they do it for a really fair price. All right, so next, say you have more money to spend, you don't have to just stick at $122. The next thing I would recommend is smart triggers, smart bumpers. So $122, that bumps it up to $160, that's an extra $40. And then that bumps it up to $190, that's also an extra $30, $40-ish. So this is a bit more expensive, but I feel like this is the reason I was playing so well. Okay, first I'm gonna put it up to the mic. You guys can see they sound like mouse clicks. So obviously that's a downside if you like the triggers, like the DualSense triggers will be disabled now. But if you're a competitive player and you're trying to get the most out of your controller, this is the way to go. And not only will it make your building a ton better, it'll give you a fast trigger finger when it comes to firing pistols. And right now that pistols are so strong in Fortnite, it's one of the most insane advantages I've seen. So that right there, $189, add to cart. Custom PS5 controller will cost you about $200. Shipped to your door, 4 smart triggers, bumpers, paddles. Again, you use code Brock because the order's over $189 and it gets dropped to $130, guys. Like, this is the most insane deal I've ever seen in my entire life. And just because of how amazing they're able to do this and get it to a lower price, I'm literally gonna end up ordering at least like 3 more of these controllers. And now finally, a lot of you guys ask, how do we get the custom illustrious controller? Technically, you can't buy it like this just yet, but you can create your own exact same version. It'll be exactly the same. Be warned though, the price is a little insane because I literally went on here and I added every single thing you could add, and I added the most expensive options just to see what I can make. So let me show you guys step by step how to do it if you really want to get it. All right, starting out with the front shell, you can choose any color. So you can use either a matte color, or they have all these cool designs, splatters. Originally I was thinking of going with this red or green splatter, but I ended up deciding, there's so many, if you guys go on their website you can look through them all. I ended up deciding on this color splash option, which I really liked the way it looked with the logo I was gonna go with. Unfortunately, because they got it to me so quickly, I think there was they weren't able to do the exact pattern. They say these are all completely custom controllers. So you guys can see that difference. It doesn't have those splatters, it's more of just lines. I don't hold it against him though, because I know they got this to me as fast as possible. I have a feeling that had something to do with it. I hope though, if I do order another one with the exact same design and I just tell them take their time, it will have that same splatter effect, because I feel like it goes really well with this illustrious graffiti logo. That illustrious graffiti logo right there that I put on it. But ultimately, I still love it. You know, the design is just a design. It's not something that alters the gameplay of the controller. They have so many though, like I said. If you want to go through them, just go to the website. I'll put it down in the description. Then we get to the trim. The middle part of the controller right here, I left that default black. I didn't want to change too much of the controller. Like sometimes, you know, less is more when it comes to designing. So I left a lot of things stock, just normal colors. But they do have different colors if you want to get your own, you know, unique colors. When it comes to the action buttons, I think I went with just standard also, mainly because I like that the standards are transparent. If you pick a color, it blocks the shapes, and I've never really liked it that much. I just left it like that. I like that glassy look it has. Then we get to the D-pad color, same thing. I like that transparent look. They do have these cool like bullet shapes if that's your thing. I was kind of tempted to go with that, but again, I like those standard glassy look. Then we get to the sticks. This is where I really like this. This was awesome. I didn't really know what it meant, but so what they mean by stick is under the actual stick right here, the color of that. The default one is just black, but if you look at these, when the controller is turned on, the LEDs are, you can see them through it and they change colors, which is just insane. I didn't really understand what it meant when I was ordering it, because it lights up in like a rainbow color. But once I got it, I was like, this is really clean. I like the way it turned out. Not too bright or anything. It's just really perfect. So that adds an extra $13 per stick, I think. And I got it on both sides. So as you guys can see, we're getting closer and closer to get the completely custom illustrious controller. Then when it comes to the sticks, at first I was kind of worried about this because they don't have the completely original stick size. It says it's 2 millimeters taller than the default. When you add a control freak, that means it's going to be even taller. So at first I was worried about that, but this is what I'm wondering if it made my aim so much better. Basically an extra 2 millimeters on the stick with the control freak means a taller stick, better aim, right? But I was worried it would be too tall, and it ended up being just right. And I feel like that's part of the reason my aim got so good with this controller. And then they have different colors and stuff. Again, I didn't want to do too much. I wanted a lot of things to just stay the same normal color. If you do choose different colors though, it's the exact same price. Let's see, looking at these, white looks pretty cool, but white tends to get dirty, especially with your thumbs, so that's why I've never liked white things like that. Right aim stick, the exact same thing. I went with just small, 2 millimeters taller. So here is where we get to the logo. This gamer tag, they have a text and they have a logo. You can either type in what you want or upload your own image. What I found though is with the text, I did not like these fonts at all. I'm assuming this is probably like a licensing thing. they have to use these fonts. They don't have any more you can choose from. So then on the left side, I just put our team logo, I think with no outline, just normal logo. So obviously on the computer it looks a little different because it's just an overlay. Once it's finally printed, it actually looks like it's placed correctly and a lot cleaner. Same thing with the right side logo. You can add another one. I just left that one blank. Too many logos and upload stuff like that can really clash, and I couldn't think of anything that would match. Touchpad color, I went default, didn't like the idea of a different color there. Touchpad gamer tag logo though, this was where I really wanted. I saw it in my head. I wanted that illustrious graffiti thing, but they didn't have a good font for it, so I ended up making my own picture on Photoshop. Upload right here, touchpad logo 2. This is what the file was named. So as you guys can see, it centered it pretty nicely. I'm assuming this isn't all done by computer though, so like when somebody is assembling the controller, they make sure it lines up nicely in the middle. Again, I'll put both of these files, the logo and the middle logo, the side logo, middle logo. If you guys really want to make the exact same controller, I'll put them in the description in our Google Drive link. So at this point, the controller is up to $189. This is all just cosmetics. We haven't even added the paddles or the bumpers yet though. So this is a very pricey controller if you do want every single feature that I got on the custom illustrious controller. This is a very high-end controller though, completely worth it in my eyes, especially as a full-time YouTuber. So then we go over to the aim grip. Originally I had ordered this, but I decided last minute that I was just gonna go stock with it because I thought at first it was just a picture, but I believe what this is it's a texture on the back. It's a bumpy texture, and I've never really liked that on controllers. This is all completely personal preference. If you do like it, it does add an extra like $25, and I think it's because it's that texture. It has like bumps and it's a grip. It helps you grip the controller better, but I've just never liked the way it feels on any controller. At the very last second, I decided to just go stock white like the normal controller, but if you do like it, I would personally probably go with either red or black and white. And then there's also just inverted colors, white and black instead of black and white. That one looks pretty sweet too. Out of all of them, I'd say that's the cleanest one right there. These other colors don't really match with our team colors, but they do still look pretty sweet. Ultimately though, that I think white and black is the best. Let's just leave that on for now. Aim paddles, again, 35 days possibly, just because they have so many orders right now. It's hard to keep up obviously with so much demand, and then shipping times with COVID gets delayed. I don't blame them at all for that. So we have 3 different sets of paddles. We have either unmappable or remappable. If you're tight on money, again, I would say just completely go with unmappable because it'll be no problem, because in Fortnite you can remap every single button, so you can build whatever you want it to be. If you do have those extra 30 bucks or so though, I would say get remappable, just because you never know if you're ever going to want to switch them up. It'll be so much easier than having to go into the game and do it. So what I ended up doing was getting white paddles. I think they had red, white, and black. I think I should have gone with black now that I look at it. I don't know, black I think looks cooler than white. I was trying to keep stock like I said, but since paddles is not something you really look at, I think I would have been fine going with the black ones. I think they would have looked cooler, but not disappointed at all with them. You know, they come with 4. I took 2 of them off. As you guys can see, the picture versus mine, 2 of my paddles are missing because I kept pressing them on accident, and if you're not going to use all 4, it's better just to take 2 of them off. So I got these white remappable paddles. At this point, the controller's up to $280. Then we added smart bumpers and smart triggers. That really bumps the price up. Now we're at $350 for the custom illustrious controller. Again though, it has so many cosmetic add-ons that's why I wasn't worried about it. I knew that every single piece of this controller was going to be like custom made, and I knew that that's expensive. When you get something custom made like that, it adds up. Then finally we get to vibration. Even though I don't play with vibration, I hate when my controllers are light, and I made this mistake once. When I ordered my scuff, I ordered with no vibration motors, and I really wish I hadn't, because it was so light and I just hate that feeling. I like when a controller is nice and solid and heavy, and vibration motors part of the heaviest part of the controller. So if you take them out, even though I don't play with vibration, I left them in so that I could keep the weight of the controller up. The price is exactly the same though, off or on, whatever you choose. I would say just leave them on unless you like a lighter controller. So at this point, this is the controller we have built. This is the custom illustrious controller. I'm hoping in the future we can have this controller actually be like an illustrious controller where you don't have to build it yourself. You can just say I want this controller and order it. But for now, if you do want it, this is what you'll have to do. You got to go to their website, do this. Total price is $347, and then you're gonna want to type code Brock obviously in the coupon. It'll bring it down to $286. You save $75 on that. That's still a very expensive controller, but that's just how it is with custom controllers. You know, it's not something unique to them. Anybody you buy a custom controller from, if you're changing this many things, you're always going to be paying more than like around 300 bucks. And honestly, $75 off is a really good deal. Most controllers will only offer you like 5-10% off at most, which would only be like 30 bucks. So I'm still so surprised they're able to get us such a good deal. And ultimately, I'm so happy with this controller. So again, guys, there you have it. That has been how to build the custom illustrious controller completely from scratch, with paddles, with bumpers, with everything. Again, I love this controller so much. I've never been this hyped over a controller or over becoming an affiliate with like another company. I don't know how to explain it other than you have to get one of these in your hands to really understand how these triggers are. Once you go into creative mode for the first time, you'll really see how much better you're going to be building with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. I know a lot of you asked me. I got so many comments and I said I was working on it, getting that video out, showing you guys how to build the custom controller. Let me know what you guys think of these controllers down below. If you do order one, I got you guys with follows and hearts and shout outs and everything you guys want for supporting the team like that. We also got like giveaways and stuff coming soon, so make sure you guys subscribe, join up the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.